Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a pleasant weekend, long weekend. We're just about 1 minute, or about 45 seconds off from the open. So let's see what we got here to start the day off. If you guys watch the pre-market, you guys know that we're just looking basically for our ranges to be taken out, right? So we've got Asia range highs, Asia range lows, we've got pre-market highs, and where's the New York high today? I guess it's the same as the London high, so we haven't taken that out yet. Looks like we already got a move down, but here's the open, another move down. Right, taking out the New York low. Let's drop down to the 1 minute here. Big spike down and then pop back up. Let's see if this continues. All right, 1 minute change of character back up. If we close above. We do have a little bit of red news today at 10 o'clock. So likely be waiting until 10 o'clock to get involved. But also today I have a parent-teacher thing to go to my kid's school in the morning. So it starts at 10:30. I will be able to probably stream until then, but I will have to end the stream a little bit early today, so hopefully we get it set up. But if we don't, I will certainly map it out for you guys after 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, my kids my kids run, we have a year-round calendar here. I don't know how it is in other states, but we do a year-round thing here. So they're in school for 9 weeks, and then they're off 3 weeks, and they go the whole year like that. But different tracks have different like schedules. So, but everyone starts the new school year. So they're starting the new school year today, or not today, tomorrow. So my little one's starting first grade, and my older one's starting fourth grade. And today is like a kind of a meet the teacher, parent-teacher conference thing before the official start of school. So just in case you wanted to know all of that, let you guys know.
Public school.
What's that, James?
Is that public or private?
Yeah, it's public school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's too many kids in the schools here, so they gotta cram them in any way they can. I've been kid one, yeah. That's right. He was born 2017, so he's 9 now. It's 9 years ago. And my little one's 6 years old. They're growing up too fast. I want them to stay little forever, but it's not happening. Good afternoon, guys. Zane, Tobias, welcome back to the stream. Glad to have you. Yeah, I don't know if you guys traded on Friday, but it was Chop City. It was terrible. We didn't really move much, but today and Friday are going to be kind of combined into one day. So on the daily charts, you'll see like today's candle will be the continuation from Thursday. So we'll have today's candle, and then the day before that would be Thursday. And like I mentioned this on the pre-market, but you guys can see we're at a huge consolidation, right? And it's starting to narrow, so you can see we're actually kind of squeezing into tighter ranges here. So it's getting harder to kind of trade these conditions, and we're into summer now, right? So generally, summer is notorious for being, lower volume, lower volatility, periods of consolidation. And then when we get into fall, right, September and October, that's when it starts to open up again and start to get more volatile. So, but yeah, with the summer, we generally do take a summer break. So in August, we will be postponing for a month, and we'll come back in September. But I'll make an announcement about that when it gets closer to time. But you guys have been with me for long enough to know that that's coming up. We take 2 breaks during the year, one in the summer in August and one in the winter in January after Christmas. So those are the 2 periods we have our kind of like breaks. And it's always good to take breaks in between trading. You guys got to take some breaks in between. Can't just be on the charts all the time every day, right? You got to get in some rest. Take some time to recharge your mind and get away from the charts every now and then. Good morning, Randy. Good to see you. And Eve as well. They're collecting contracts. Yes, they are. Absolutely. And this behavior was there last time we hit all-time highs as well. So it's just kind of history repeating itself. Look at this move. Right back down. This is generally why we don't trade the open, because the open is a lot of manipulation. We have red news at 10, so 10 o'clock will give us probably something to work with. We're still kind of trading in this range here. We've got like I said, Asia highs up here, Asia lows down here. I'd expect one of those to be taken out at 10 o'clock with the news. Let's see if we get that. If we just keep consolidating, then then so be it. I'm not really looking to force a setup in this kind of range here, because this is really nothing yet. So need to see one side of the range taken out here, 30,000. This is a good area. Plus, if you'll notice, we also have this big imbalance right here into that high. So I like that for the upside move. So if we can get a move into this imbalance while sweeping this high, then we come back and get a change of character back below previous daily high, day open, week open. That'll be a nice move, or a nice setup for us to get down to the low end of the range, which would be Asia lows and previous day low. And then just under previous day low, we've got this nice little imbalance right here. And just under Asia lows, we've got this little imbalance right here, although we did tap into it already with this little wick here, although you can't really see it that clear, I don't think, but see, this imbalance was already mitigated here with just that little tail end of the wick tap, and then the move up on Friday. So technically this is not a untouched point of interest, but it is sitting underneath the Asia low, so I can still use it. Could be an order block as well, right? Doesn't have to be the balance. The order block as well, the down candles here could also be the point of interest. So we can see, from like here, or even this wick, top of the wick there, the mitigation. Okay, so we've got points of interest above us and below us that we're looking for price to reach into. Remember our checklist, right? Top number 1 is going to be higher time frame point of interest, right? So this is going to be our imbalance, our order block. like this would be the tail end of this wick here, and the imbalance. Right? First step is higher time frame point of interest. Second step is the liquidity sweep. So I want to see a sweep of these highs up here, trading into this point of interest, and then a move away. Displacement, change of character, and if possible, a divergence. And then same thing on this side here. And because we're inside of a big consolidation, I'm not really looking for a big move, right? I'm just looking for something to set us up to trade us back into the range. If it's this high that gets taken, then I'm gonna look for the opposing end, right? Trade back into the range and take out the low. If it's the low that goes first, I'll take out the low and trade back into the range and trade the opposing high. So let's see if we get it. And look at this opening chop. If you guys remember last Saturday, I was talking about a different kind of entry method, right? Or like a kind of like a variation on the entry method I've been using. So this week I'm going to be implementing that, or I'm going to try to anyway, this whole week, and then we'll go over it on Saturday in our review on our the strategy session. We'll see how it goes this week. With those entries, because they've been giving me some pretty good results in the back test and the forward testing I've been doing. So you might see me taking entries based off of, it's the same model, okay? So I'm not really changing it. I'm just changing basically how we take entries when it comes time to actually execute. And you'll see, you know, if I get the setups, obviously I'll be explaining them as I take them. So this week you might see a little bit of a variation on the entries I'm taking, but they still follow the 5 steps, and we're still looking for the same things. Hey Chuck, good morning, good to see you. Very rare instances you'll see me take trades before 10 o'clock, but whenever we have red news at 10, for sure I will not be entering until after that. Today we happen to have red news at 10, so we will wait for 10 o'clock, and hopefully 10 o'clock red news will give us some sort of sweep and retrace, or sweep and continuation. So I guess our New York high level is right here, and it hasn't been taken yet. Let's see if that's correct. New York high. Yeah, there it is. I can see it right behind the... So notice how we came up to it and didn't take it out and came back down. We did sweep this level though, just by a couple points, looks like. Did get a bearish change of character, but I'm not touching anything right now in this consolidation because it could just go either way. Take a little bit of an internal swing high or low, and then it could come right back down the range. So I want to see something significant taken out, meaning like this structure, right? Or even this London high, I would say, is part of it, because we did see a big move away from this level right here. So like these up close candles before the down move here can act as an order block that can send price lower, and this right here can be like an internal high. We saw something similar like this happen last week. It played out perfectly, so this might be something to look for as well. But it's so close to this Asia high level, so I don't want to get faked out either. And honestly, you know, if today happens to just be like a, you know, consolidation day, where we sit on our hands, then so be it, because it's Monday, you know, so we still got the whole week ahead of us. One other red news this week, which is on Wednesday, which is FOMC meeting minutes, but it's not going to be, you know, the high volatility FOMC, because there's no press conference, there's nothing to do with interest rates or anything like that that's going to change. So I don't really think there's going to be any volatility that's going to be worth noting on Wednesday this week. So today really is the only day we have any significant red news. At least that's what it shows on the calendar right now. Something could pop up later this week, I don't know. But as of right now, today is the only day really with red news that's worth noting. Okay, so the 15-minute close was bullish here, right? So we can see 4-hour, 15 minutes currently bullish. 4-hour candle that you can see right now. Still another 15 minutes to go, but looking to close bullish if we stay above this high, meaning above 890. And then depending on how we close in the next 15 minutes, right? Because this could, you know, certainly go up above the highs here. If the 4-hour does come up here at 10 o'clock with the news, sweep out this high, and then roll back inside on the close, then that would make it, to me, more so like a reversal inside this range, right? And that would be the top end of the point of interest we're looking at. But, oh, sorry, up here. So, you know, we could blow through this right here and then sweep this level and then get the reversal back in the range instead of getting it here, because this really isn't, I mean, it's a big move down, so I would expect a reaction here, but if it doesn't follow through, then we can expect price to come up for, you know, these highs up here. Look at all these nice swing highs we can take out. So it is important to note that we have already taken out previous day's highs, but this is Friday's high. So, you know, because we're lumping this in together with today's, you know, high, I don't know if that's, you know, going to be noteworthy. I would say Thursday's highs over here are probably a little bit more important, obviously, because that's where we got the big move down. And also because we respected the high here. So I know there's going to be a lot of liquidity up here that is going to be targeted when we come back up for that level, and you know, it could be right now. So especially since we got such a big move down here, there's a lot of sellers into this move right now that have their stops above here, right, longer term, and then the ones that have, you know, kind of trailing stops in here have already been taken out. So get another push down, get people excited about the sell again. Stops are up here now, and so, you know, you could see the move up to come back and take those out. But like I said, if it just ends up being a consolidation day today, then, you know, we'll come back when it's looking a little bit better. But we'll see what happens with the 10 o'clock news, which is going to happen in about 11, 12 minutes. Right, coming closer to hour zones. So here's New York high being traded through, or at least, yeah, it looks like it will be, right? So we had a reaction, came back down, respected the imbalance and the down close candles, and now moving back up and through. So it doesn't look like we will reverse from here. Very close to that 30K, and it's a nice little push up into it right now. And that's how that 15-minute candle looks. We still got 9 minutes, so quite a lot of time left. And like I said, just want to see how we react to the level here after taking out Asia highs and trading into this POI here. So right now, as we can see it, the order flow is very bullish, right? We just swept this internal low here, and we just got another change of character here. So technically, if we do get, you know, a strong closure above the level here, and we don't get a very strong rejection, then we can look for retracement back into, like, say, this imbalance here, or back to the change of character would be enough. But that would need to be at least into the 50%, right? So let's see, from here to here. Right, we need to go like all the way up to here, and then start to retrace for this to be at the 50 level. And if it goes even higher, then we probably would miss this move here. But let's see, we're so close to this. Look at that, we didn't quite take it, right? The line is still there, right? Once it's mitigated, it will disappear, so we know when we hit it, because this line will go away. Welcome, Capital, good to see you again. Welcome to the stream. Just waiting on this 10 o'clock news to hit in about 7 minutes. Let's see what we do with this. I love that we just stopped right here, right before it. I hope we keep that intact for the news. Yeah, absolutely, man. We're here every day, so you can always find me here. right, 6 minutes to go. Stay patient here and wait for our trigger. You know, even though we're waiting for this kind of like sweep and reclaim back into the range, I'm still more bullish until we get back below here. But we'll see if the low holds, because we did this little internal sweep here already. So I feel like we're gonna just keep going higher. And the reason I say that is because we've already tapped into this imbalance once here, even though it was like a kind of just like a smallish sort of wick into it. So if we do make it back up into this imbalance here, yes, it's true that we could be also, you know, reacting to an OB here, and we also did get a pretty strong move away from here. So, you know, like I said, the OB is probably a better point of interest to be watching instead of the imbalance. So maybe if it comes back up into here. And if it does, I mean, from where we are right now, that's still over 100 points away. So there's still some room to the upside if we can catch a nice move up. I feel like we've already gotten some pretty nice reactions to these bullish points of interest here. First one being the imbalance here, right? Then coming back into the order block in the imbalance here, and then coming back into the order block here. You can see it's bullish order flow being respected. But the 10 o'clock is the question mark, so 3.5 minutes to go, almost there. The news could do nothing as well. We can always expect the news to do nothing as well. Doesn't have to move a lot, but I want the news to give us, you know, either the sweep or the continuation. So, and you certainly don't want to be holding through any kind of red news, even if it's like a regular folder and not like a big folder. Obviously, we can't hold it through like an NFP or an FOMC. If you guys are trading evals, that'll breach your account. But you wouldn't want to do that anyway. But like if it's like a regular news folder, like a, you know, like a PMI or like a GDP or something like that, I wouldn't want to hold through those either. Well, this is good though. I like that we're holding this kind of high right here. It means that we will go through it to reach our point of interest. So maybe we'll get some sort of like manipulation into here. What's this level? 29,895. So 29,900, I would say. Right? 900 is right here. We already have a divergence, so it's possible that we don't see price come down here, but it is already kind of dipping back below. So let's see if we get some sort of sweep of this internal low, or maybe a sweep of this internal low. When we come back above the 900 level, we can see if we get a move back up the range. We can kind of see this is like an internal sweep, London high, right? Then the 30,000 level has just been tagged, and we start seeing price come back through with a change of character to the downside. So for me to you know, see this as a bearish move back down, we have to get the change of character below here and go lower with like an imbalance or some kind of, you know, shift engulfing candle. And then if that happens, then we can look for a retracement back into the range and back into the imbalance for the short. But that's going to happen after news, right? So another minute to go. Let's see what we do. Seconds. We're hovering right around the day open, week open line, and the New York highs that we swept, pre-market highs that we swept. So this is a good area for us to see a reversal if we get that change of character, like I said, with some displacement. And here comes news. Let's see if it does anything. I don't know why this happens every time we reset the week. My opening range thing just pops up. All right. Okay, so get a sweep below. Nothing too crazy so far. Okay, so once again, respecting the level here, 900. Okay, we did get a tap into the imbalance and a nice reaction. So let's see if we get a full closure below. Okay, going back up, so maybe we get to our levels up here. You got the equal highs sitting right here, 30,000. And another divergence on the low. Right, just as a reminder, the 4-hour did close as bullish, but we did not come up and reach that high. So I'm not as, sold on the short idea until we take this level out and trade back into something up here, which is what I want to see happen on this upmost. I'd rather be trading higher at this point. This right here is potentially another bullish imbalance that happens on the close of this candle, but this won't close until 2 o'clock, so it's going to be a while so we see that. But the 15-minute did form that imbalance, right? So we want to see if price comes back down to that 900 level and pop back up. This low right here is a perfect candidate for an internal sweep if we can get that. So essentially what I want to see is the equal highs get taken out, so I want this to be the target. The low here is from the last reaction point. I guess it would be from this reaction point, but this is so close to it. So I'll use the next one here. And then this will be the internal sweep that we look for. right? So essentially the trade idea would be somewhere around 900, taking the long, putting my stop below this, like 60 points, I guess, would be good. And then looking for the top end up here, somewhere in this region. Taking the high here would be 1.8, that would be enough. Taking this high would be 1.5, that would also be enough. 2R would be right here. So let's see if we get it. This already came so close to that 900 level. Oh no, don't go yet, not yet. Well, it would be pretty unfortunate if this does run away from us right here. It did tap the 20 level, didn't quite get to the 900 here with the sweep. We're so close, only about 15 points away from getting an entry, but let's see if this does do continue here, because we do see that price is going back and forth still on a downtrend, right? So as long as we don't break this level here, we still could keep reaching below, and if we do, then we can look for an entry trigger. Both of these lows right here are sitting nice and pretty. I wouldn't have taken it here because we didn't have any sweep, right? So I need to see the sweep of some internal liquidity. If it creates an imbalance here and pops higher, then we could use that as like a retracement, but then we'd have to wait a little bit longer. So I really wanted price to come down here and sweep this so that we could enter, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be today. And there's the divergence. So we did get a sweep, however it was on NYM. So you can see how if that was the sweep there, we'd already be up about 70 points. I still would, be looking for price to come back here, especially if we don't take this level out right now. Did sweep this internal right here and rejecting. Let's see what we do. We did create an imbalance, so it is bullish, more so bullish. And I would expect now for price to come and take out the equal highs, but let's see what we do here with this, because we could come back to this level here at 950, and the stop here at the low would be about 50 points, and then just taking out the high here. That looks not as likely. Looks like we're gonna take them. Let's go back to the 15 here. Let's see. Yep, it's still there. So this was our first target there. So we could get a reaction from this level. I would rather see it go up, a little bit higher into this order block. Like I said, the imbalance here, we touched it already and we had a reaction away from it. Pretty strong reaction actually. Just didn't follow through. So, to me it still looks like we're bullish on the 15-minute. So now that, we have a lower high or higher low, sorry, here, right? Making the new higher high. And that was the idea on this move. Oh, maybe it's going to come back and give me something here. Did respect the high. So let's see if we get this retracement back to the imbalance here. 950. Nope. Divergence flip-flopping from the highs to the lows here, so not really confident on these 1-minute divergence calls here. Okay, there we go, and gone through. So now that we've taken the level, let's have to wait and see how we respond. We did sweep the equal highs, Asia highs. Okay, and I will look to see how we react to this. Change of character is going to be now trading through this level, not this level. So basically back through 920, the level that we just bounced off of. And yeah, like I said, we'll have to end the stream a little bit early today, so probably in about 10 minutes or so that I have enough time to get over there. And if its setup doesn't show up by then, which I know is asking a lot for the setup to appear in the next 10 minutes, but what I'm looking for right now is more likely than not it's going to be a continuation based on how this candle is going to close in the next 2 minutes, because it's going to be very, very bullish, right? And so I'm looking for a reaction here at this high, but if it doesn't close back inside, then it's not really going to be looking like a sweep. It'll be more so like a continuation. So looking for a retest of the Asia highs to go higher. Asia range bounce for all of you BT members. Something similar to the next point of interest, which is up here, right? And then to all of this liquidity up here. I like all of this liquidity up here. I think the price wants to go back for those, and that might be a theme for, maybe if it's not today, then the rest of this week, right? So I'm looking for price to do this, right? Let's see a reaction we get from this order block here. If it doesn't follow through, then this is what I'm expecting price to do. Okay, and for the short, if we do get the short, then price will close back inside underneath the Asia levels. We'll get the change of character, so price will come back through this level right here, and then we can look for the short after we get the confirmation and retrace back into like maybe an imbalance here, one roadblock here, or mitigation or something, right? And then we can get the move down. This seems a little bit less likely to me right now, but yeah, it could change, of course, you know, throughout the course of the day, depending on what happens here. So let's see, 20 seconds to the next 15-minute close, and it looks like we're going to close above and not below. So this will flip back to bullish. 4 hour will be bullish. And unfortunately, we did not get our sweep down here, right? Just didn't happen for us. That would have been the setup that we would have taken if we did get it. But 920 was the number today, not 900. And this would have been a nice long, but oh well. Okay, so 15-minute bullish, 4 hour bullish. We'll look for the continuation to go higher, right? Let's stay above the Asia highs. Really, if we stay above previous daily high level, London high level, these levels up here, this consolidation, I would say that the next target here, the order block, and then those highs above that are fair game. Didn't leave any imbalances along the way. Lots of wicks up and down here, so it's pretty efficient. Did get a very long kind of divergence marker here, and this imbalance is still open. So a long setup coming back into this imbalance would be nice, but doesn't necessarily have to retrace that far back. Hoping they hunt the lows, we can get on board. Exactly, yeah. So if we can come back, you know, and sweep an internal low back to the 900 here, sweep a low and come back up, that would be good as well. But you know, when momentum carries price like this and we get these big long candles, there's a good chance that we don't come back to the lows. So there's a very tiny imbalance that's being formed right here at the 30K level. And also just keep in mind the 30K is right here as well. So we just crossed the 30K threshold again. That's going to be important to watch, as well as the bounce, right? So the Asia highs, like I said, this is probably the most probable setup that we're going to be seeing happen here in the next hour or two. Come back to the Asia highs and bounce off the 30K and come back up. There's an imbalance right here. That's what I would be looking for. If we blast through this and we close back below 30K with some momentum, then I can, you know, probably be looking for shorts back in the range, but not until that happens. And even so, I'd be looking for the consolidation and the change of character here to pump price back up again. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be where I leave you guys today. So a short session today, so I apologize, but we'll be back tomorrow. If this does not set up for us today, just remember what I told you guys to look for, all right? And if it happens, it happens. If not, you know, it's Monday, right? It's still early, the first day of the week, right? We got plenty of time to make this happen this week. All right, Any questions, just leave them for me on the comments below. YouTubers, yeah, just on the comment section if you need to, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, you can find me on the Discord and DM me there. All right, guys, we'll do it again tomorrow. I apologize for the short session again, and good luck with your trades.